If you were to ask me, do I like nev-r-adjust brakes? I don't think there's anything wrong with them if they're used correctly. Do I like manual brakes? Absolutely. I don't think there's anything wrong with them if they're used correctly. You have to ask yourself, what is the real purpose of a nev-r-adjust brake or a self-adjusting brake? Maybe you're in the market for a new utility trailer, a cargo, or a travel trailer. And with that, you may get one that needs brakes, and with that, it may come with some options. You may have self-adjusters or manual adjusters, or maybe you've went in to have it serviced, your brakes are beyond their lifetime, it's time to replace them, and you have a decision to make. Do you stay with the manual adjust, or do you purchase auto adjusters, self-adjusters, or nev-r-adjust, however they're marketed? Well, to help you make that determination, we're going to talk about it today, kind of show you the ins and outs on the self-adjusting system, and maybe help you make a great purchase and fit your needs and get on down the road. When it comes to brake assemblies, sometimes you have some options. When you're in the 7K and down world, you have self-adjusting or manual adjust. 8K and up normally comes with an auto adjuster or a self-adjusting brake. So if you're in that 7,000 pound per axle and less category, you may need to make a decision whether that's upon a new purchase or if you're getting it serviced. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it. We're going to go over the ins and outs and the purpose behind the self-adjusting brake, and see if it's good for you, see if it's a good fit. The first thing I'm going to say about self-adjusting brakes, I don't have a problem with them. I install them. I install manual brakes. I've installed both for years. The biggest issue I ever have with a self-adjusting brake is how they're marketed. But I have a problem with the marketing on lots of stuff. I have a big fat head. I cannot wear a hat that says one size fits all. That's a lie. One size fits some. I'm gonna have to wear a 7 3/4 plus if I have a good tight haircut. So I'm not a one size fits most, one size fits all, none of that. I gotta go find a fitted hat to fit my big old chunky head. As you can see by the snapback, it's almost out of snap holes. So when it comes to items that claim to be maintenance free or anything free, that reminds me of a free puppy. If you ever had a free puppy, you know there's no such thing as a free puppy. I like to make it clear. So if I have a brake assembly that says nev-r-adjust, what that tells me, it's nev-r-adjust, so I never have to do nothing to it. Now I will tell you, when you go and read the fine print, it is not necessarily maintenance free. You will have to do some things from time to time. If you have a nev-r-lube axle, that would tell me that, hey, I never have to do nothing. I just put that thing on there and roll from now on until I don't roll no more, and it's good to go. But that's not the case. Those have to be replaced. Those cartridges on the nev-r-lube assemblies have to be replaced at certain times. Things like Easy Lube, and this is not to knock Dexter products, but I think they could do a little different job in marketing. So sometimes as the consumer, we look at that because we don't want to mess with it. We want the easy way out. And I think that's why it's easily marketed to us, but you have to do your homework and you have to understand what products you're buying, from trailer products to parts or to products for your house, your automobile, whatever it may be. So if you were to ask me, do I like nev-r-adjust brakes? I don't think there's anything wrong with them if they're used correctly. Do I like manual brakes? Absolutely. I don't think there's anything wrong with them if they're used correctly. You have to ask yourself, what is the real purpose of a nev-r-adjust brake or a self-adjusting brake? Nev-r-adjust is a trademark name. Self-adjusting is just the way it auto-adjusts, and I'll show you a sample of one here shortly. So what that does, that doesn't mean that you never have to adjust your brakes. You never have to think about your brake adjustment. I have some people that, because they have that on there, they think their brake control, they can just run it on whatever and all is good. The main purpose, and it's a good purpose, I will say this, the engineering, the thinking behind this is done to keep your brakes consistent throughout your tow. So that's really the main reason for a self-adjuster. It's not that you don't ever have to adjust it. It's for when you get it adjusted originally and you take off. Let's say you take off on a 5,000 mile trip and you're rolling. If you do a manual adjustment, when you get to that 5,000 mile mark or 10,000 mile mark and you've never done a manual adjustment on there, your shoes are going to have a bigger air gap in between the shoe surface and the drum if you have been using them to any extent. That's where the nev-r-adjust or the self-adjust comes in. Every time you stop, it is a forward adjusting mechanism that continues to push that shoe out. And as it's pushing that shoe out, it creates a more consistent braking for the consumer that's towing that vehicle. There's nothing wrong with that. That is great. They claim to be, up to 50% greater braking, and it makes sense. It adjusts it for you when and while you're traveling, but that doesn't mean that you don't ever have to do any maintenance and you might not have to do a brake adjustment. I'm going to show you a self-adjuster. We've showed you plenty of manual adjusters, but I'll grab one of those too, and I'm going to show you how it works, why it works, and maybe some of the flaws in between it. So let's take a look at one. This is a self-adjusting brake. This is a Dexter. It had a failure. This was nothing with the product. It had an issue to where had some parts come loose from maintenance. Then I have just a self-adjuster here. This is just an import brand. You'll notice it has a cable that runs down to a pulley. And then we'll try to move this magnet out of the way and see if we can see it. It has a little lever here on the star wheel and the adjuster. And now I'll show you how that works. So as you're stopping, it's moving that adjuster every time your magnet comes out when you engage your brakes, and it will only adjust it up. It will not over adjust them as long as everything is properly maintained. It is going to adjust them up to a stopping point. It's going to quit there, and as they wear down, it's going to continue to adjust those up. So it's pretty handy to do that. I am a fan of self-adjusting. Herein lies the problem. Most people that have this, whether they buy it new or they install it after the fact, they put it on as a self-adjuster. I don't ever have to do nothing, and I just hit the road. Maybe you have this set up along with an Easy Lube setup or some type of system that you can pump grease into it, and you never open them up. I will tell you, this system works great. It will work almost flawlessly, except for when you start to get some wear, or you get into maybe a part of the country that's got more road grime and gunk than others, or a salty environment where you may have some rust, a humid environment. If we'll look right in here at this adjuster, if that little set of threads in there gets gunked up or froze up, I don't care how many times this moves, it's just gonna sit there and do nothing. So yeah, it's trying to work, but it's not going to spin that wheel. If it is tight, that wheel is not going to work. So what happens at that point? It is no longer a self-adjuster. It's a self-adjusting assembly that does not do any adjusting at that point. So you would have to do a manual adjustment. That's why I can't stress enough. If you own self-adjusting brakes, even though they're self-adjusting, you need to do some maintenance to those. I recommend pulling them down at least one time a year and checking all that. If this is gunked up, you're going to need to either clean it here. Sometimes it requires the adjuster to be completely removed, disassembled, cleaned in a parts cleaner, or at least with some brake cleaner, lubricated, put back together, and then let it rip. If you have these installed new at a service shop, or if you buy a new axle, many times you have to adjust them manually before you take off on the first trip. If you don't adjust them, they will adjust up, but you're gonna have to give yourself a little time. You're gonna have to do several stops in order to get them to work to their optimum potential and get them burnished in. Speaking of burnishing in, we have a video on burnishing brakes. Sometimes I feel like we talk about self-adjusters or manual adjusters too much, but it's probably one of the biggest questions and maybe one of the biggest concerns or misconceptions that we see. I will tell you, whether it's manual adjust or self-adjust, they will both fail. If you look on the back of these, they do have a plug that you can do. I got it upside down, but I want to do that for the camera. So let me pull both of those out. They do have a plug, so you can do a manual adjust. A lot of the thick brake spoons have trouble because on 7K and down, the adjuster is on this side of the star. On your larger stuff, it's on the opposite side. But you can get an adjuster in there to manually adjust them. Now, if you get them too tight, you would need a 90-degree pick. You're going to have to go in, and let's do it this way. You got the camera shot on there. You're going to have to go in, and you're going to have to pick that away, then stick your adjusting tool or a thin screwdriver in there to make your adjustment, whether it be if you need to relieve some of the pressure on there. If you're just adding tension to it, then you do not need to remove that. It will be fine. I will tell you, you can manipulate that up a little bit, but don't do it too far. You could knock it out of its location where it should be, and then it's not going to work correctly. Could even cause it to come off. Question I get asked all the time, well, that's some extra parts in there, and it is extra parts. So there is the potential for one of these extra parts to fail, fall off in the drum, and get chewed up. If you're doing your normal maintenance, that usually doesn't happen due to manufacturer defect, whether it's a name brand, Dexter, Lippert, import, whatever. Very rarely with any trailer component do we have manufacturer defects. So I am not anti self-adjusting. I am not anti nev-r-adjust. I'm anti marketing that makes you believe that it's just a fail-safe, it's going to completely eliminate. I'm going to tell you, if you go out and buy a wrinkle-free shirt, you're going to have to spray some de-wrinkle, put that thing in the iron, or hit it with or put the thing in the dryer, hit it with an iron just to get all the wrinkles out. If you own a self-adjusting brake assembly, you're going to do a manual adjust at some point. You're going to do some maintenance. You can't just put it on there and just roll like it ain't nobody's business. It will cost you some money down the road, and you will lose your brakes. So do what's best for you. If you're not good about doing your brake adjustments, self-adjuster is probably the way you need to go. If you know how to do a brake adjustment, or you're interested in doing a brake adjustment, you know, it doesn't take that long on a tandem axle. You can have one done about an hour on there, and you know what you've got. But on the self-adjusters, within about an hour, you can jack that thing up and you can tell if it's got proper brake adjustment and if it's working or not. And when you tear down your brakes, whether they be never lube, or tear down your hubs, whether they be never lube or they be easy lube or self lube, whatever marketing ploy you've got, and check that out. You can inspect all components. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. Just because it's maintenance free, just because it's never this, never that. You know, this is what I ask the question all the time: is it never adjust? We ask the question, have you ever adjusted? Not never adjusted, because a lot of people, they look at you like, what do you mean? I am perfectly fine with self-adjusting brakes as long as you just don't put them on there and forget about it. If you forget about it, they'll remind you at some point, and they're going to remind you hard, cost you some money, may cost you a brake lockup, or may not stop you, and you may just slide a little farther than what you'd hope. So hope that clears up any misconceptions. Hope maybe that helps you better understand the way these work. But the self-adjuster, just to recap, is to help you do your brake adjustments in between your long runs and to give you more optimum braking while traveling. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great idea, especially if you're an over-the-roader and you travel a lot. You're going to have better braking throughout your travels, throughout your trip, than with a manual adjust system. So it really depends on what works best for you. So we will see you on the next one.